Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyles
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
What accent was that? Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Adriana.
I'm Emily.
I'm Jenna.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today is the first episode of our 7-week journey through Glow of the Everflame, the second book in the Kindred's Curse saga. We finished our 5-part series Stripping Down Spark last week, so if you need a refresher, be sure to check that out.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thoughts after all, so we are going to be using adult language and talking about adult topics. Please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode will include spoilers for all 3 current books. Each episode, we will focus on specific chapters, but our conversation will include the entirety of the series. Lastly, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. Maybe we, but definitely Emily and the other one named Jenna will mispronounce a name or place at least once. Emily will be leading the episode, so let's
strip it down, girl. Strip it down, girl. Strip it down. So we're going to start out with chapter 1, but before we do, we have to always go over the dedication for the book. And this one is for every spark that has lost its light and needs a little help remembering how to glow. We're starting off chapter 1 strong with our DM is for denial. She must be hallucinating. She hasn't been taking her flame root, so that explains everything, right? She should have never thrown her entire supply into the bottom of the sacred sea. Maybe then she wouldn't be sitting here with a crown above her head, with her brother Teller staring in shock and stating, "Diem, you're wearing the crown. You've been selected. You are the new Queen of Lumos." And I had to put that in there again because we talked about how last episode that line is just...
It's the cheesiest of all the cheese lines
It's a cheese
ever.
line. Diem tries to immediately rip off the crown, but her hands only meet cold air. There's a light coming from the space above her shining on Teller's face. Must be another illusion. Diem begins to break, and Teller offers to go get her father, Andre, but they just had the biggest fight where she said things she regretted. What would he think now? In a desperate attempt, she flings herself to the water's edge. Maybe the flame root was still there, hidden beneath the surface. Teller, being the only sane one in this book sometimes, reminds her that flame root won't take that crown off her head. He insists they need to tell someone. Now, cue in an ill-timed Lily with a bouquet of flowers. Tonight was not the night for a family dinner. Lily sees the crown and knows exactly what it means. The king is dead, and there is now a new queen. She sinks to her knees and places a fist over her heart, stating, "Long live our queen!" You can imagine that Diem didn't take this well. Mother Lumnos has made a mistake. A mortal from Mortal City could never be a queen. Teller again tries to reason with her and just maybe poking at the idea that she might not be mortal. Diem thinks on the last couple of weeks, her encounter with Luther, her gray eyes. Wait, gray eyes? This gets Lily's attention and she asks to look closer. She immediately gasps and wants to go get Luther because he saw ... What
did he see, Emily?
I don't know. But before she can finish, Diem is firm on not wanting help from him. She begins to think of ways she can conceal the glowing crown atop her head when Taylor...
Taylor?
Sorry.
You watched that podcast today?
My Oklahoma got a little...
Came out.
She begins to think of ways she can conceal the glowing crown atop her head when Teller starts discussing the rite of coronation, a ritual held on Kurele, the forbidden island at the center. This is all done after the period of challenging where someone can challenge the crown if they believe the person unworthy that is wearing it. Perfect. 30 days and this nightmare will be over. Wait, nope, not that simple. A challenging is a fight to the death. Next plan. But there is no next plan. Oh, and wait. What will Henry think? Cue me rolling my eyes if you can't see it. He hates Descended. What will he think if he sees her wearing the crown? Diem wants more than anything for this to be a hallucination. Begs Teller to say that it is. But he just says, "Whatever happens, you won't be alone. We'll figure this out together." Diem shifts into planning mode, asking Teller to give word to her father and Henry that she has visited a friend. And for the time being, she will stay in a cabin on the royal hunting grounds offered up by Lily. This would hopefully offer up enough time to prove that this was all one big mistake.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure the magic can make a mistake.
No. Is Diem's denial too much? at this point. I remember reading it the first time and being like crazy annoyed. Like,
Yes.
girl.
I
would-
was annoyed the first time too. Maybe not this time as much because I could already expect how long it took for her to finally realize that she actually had.
That may be part of it, but also for me, I just have realized how much her mother drilled into her that her father died and went insane with the same illness.
Mm-hmm.
And now she has it and she has to take the flame root daily or the illness will overtake her. The one person she trusts more than anything with everything she has tells her this her
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
life. It has been instilled into her. So to just snap that and be like, "Oh no, I have powers. I'm not immortal at all." I don't think that's going to happen.
Do you think in this situation for yourself that you would have let the logic of the hallucinations outweigh logic?
That's a hard one.
God, I don't know because
Everyone-
denial is strong.
Yeah.
It can
And
be,
when
yeah.
you don't want your reality to be what it is, denial is very easy to slide into.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially when you're looking for the excuses. I feel like to ignore the fact that all of this is leading to you being a descendant. You're showing signs of it, but you've been told otherwise. So at the same time, you are looking for every reason for that to not be true, because that is also a biggest fear of you.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to sit here and say, no, I wouldn't have believed that. But like you said, it's her number one like hero telling her it's always been hallucinations.
Yeah.
It's just hard being the reader and reading this
Oh,
and just
for sure.
being like, DM, like, girl, your brother, your
It's
own brother.
written on the walls.
The most logical person in your life, the like smartest person that
Yeah.
you've stated is saying this is real, and you're just like, I gotta go in the water and find the flame root. I know it's down there.
Oh my gosh. But what if she would have put her little diving mask on and gone down and found it? What if?
She has a diving mask.
No.
You're just making that up.
Yeah, I did.
What if she would have
Well,
had one?
Okay, but because we just went to the lake and my daughter lost her glasses in the water
Oh,
and my
no.
son got a diving mask and went down 2 days later and found them within 10
Murky water too.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
lake water.
It's disgusting, but
Oh yeah,
I'm
I watched those
shocked.
puppies
Yeah.
over and over again.
DM should have called your son.
She should have. She should have called him. Like, "Where's your diving mask? Get down there,
Get
boy."
down here.
let's uncover
She
this
could have
truth.
just used the glow of her crown probably to look down underneath.
She did go and open her eyes, but couldn't see anything
Yeah.
supposedly. But
No, she can't see anything anyways. Okay, can we just give a round of applause for the awesome brother that Teller is? I love his little line in here.
Oh,
He can tell that she's freaking out, having a
Yeah.
panic attack, and he's like, you know what? Instead of trying to convince you that this is real, I'm just going to reassure you that if this happens to be real, which it is, then I'm going to be here for you.
yeah, that was a shining moment for a younger sibling. And then it also snapped DM out of it because as an older sibling, she's like, "Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I got to take care of you.
I can't let you take care of me. I gotta focus. I gotta
Right.
figure this out. Like, get with it, DM." So as an older sibling, I
Yeah.
felt that as
The
well.
responsibility
Agreed.
of older siblings. I don't know. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. The most cherished, most loved, some say. Crazy that her thought for Henry is more fear than it is like, I need to run to him with this problem, which she hasn't ran to him with any problems the entire book, except what did she run to him
No,
with?
she didn't. She
No, when
only
she like showed up on
she
his porch.
only ran to him because he gave her the option to join the Guardians.
Okay.
It wasn't even a problem. It was just a solution.
I gotta say, I think this is a red flag
It's always a red flag.
Yeah.
that she wouldn't want to run to the person that she's supposed to spend the rest of her life with. I mean, we all know how I feel about Henry, but even if I liked Henry, this is still a red flag in a relationship.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did pop into her mind before like
Luther.
anybody else.
Yeah.
It was Henry, but then it was also he's gonna hate me because
Yeah.
I'm descended. I'm the one thing that he can't stand in the world. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of her accepting it a little bit in the fact that she wanted to hide it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wanted to say, how hilarious would it have been if Lily would have showed up during the fight with the flowers?
Oh, like she's like outside the window.
yeah, she's like,
Awkwardly.
"Hi, I was told I'd be accepted for dinner." And the dad's like, "Never."
He's like, that family is crazy. I thought my family was crazy. Also, it's like, I guess there's no way to really call ahead. I'm assuming phones don't exist, but maybe like a letter that she's like, hey, Thursday night, I'm going to come by.
No,
Do you think Keller just didn't say anything about it?
No, I think she's just like, there's no way they aren't having an average dinner tonight.
Right.
I'm just going to be there.
Tonight's the night of all nights. I'll bring flowers. It'll be perfect. I'll sit around. And DM said, I'm totally welcome.
My girl's only missing the wine.
They got the strong whiskey from the father. How do you envision the crown?
Like above her head?
Yeah.
I just see it like glowing constantly above her head.
But like a smoke, or like it looks physical until you touch it? Like what?
Oh, I've pictured it like anybody would picture a glowing angel halo, except it's got like prongs all around it. And it's, I don't know why.
So like a halo but looks like a crown?
Yeah, but it's like silvery blue and black.
Mm.
Does it even
I like
say
the
color?
silvery.
It does describe it in here at some point, and it says it's got like dripping black things.
So what do you think that color means?
I think it has to do with the same as her hair and the same as her eyes. It's not one of the kindred.
I can't remember. As she
something
gets her
special.
other crowns, do they just like, are they like jewels that pop up, or is she like looking like a...
Oh, I can't remember if it's like more of the
Yes.
points. What are those called? I just said the word, but now I
Prongs?
can't. Yes,
The
more
prongs.
prongs, and I can't remember.
Well, I mean, we're going to get to it.
Maybe.
So
I think that would be silly though, but that's just me envisioning it. It could look really cool. I'm not an artist by any means to like write or draw that out.
I just think like anytime I read fantasy, I especially when they're talking mind to mind like that, I love this in a book, but if I were to see this in a movie, how would that would just be weird. How would they portray it? They're just like staring like this and then voice actors are going off. Do you know what I mean? How do you envision that?
Yeah. Well, they have you not seen like the memes where it's like Violet and whatever
just making faces?
Yeah, and Xaden
Oh.
fighting and everybody around him's like, what the fuck's going on? And they're like,
The whole conversation in their
That's
head.
kind of how I
Okay.
picture the like crown is like if you were to put that in a movie, would that look really cheesy? Like how would you do that?
it's that so Raven.
That's so Raven. Do that.
I do feel like sometimes that's her and Luther though.
What?
With how they can sense each other's magic and
Yeah.
how like sometimes he can see like what she's seeing.
Talking mind to mind.
Gosh dang it. I thought I highlighted the description of the crown, but maybe it's when she looks in the mirror. Maybe it's later.
I trust you.
The only description I can
You
think of
shouldn't.
in my chapters are when she finally uses her magic and her vines are dripping blood. Like not they're dripping black.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
So
And I just put them together. Said it's the crown. You know how my brain works, guys.
We
it's
are
not
we're
correct.
taking drawing submissions if people want to like give us an imagery
Yes, do
of
it.
what the crown looks like to help us out.
Oh, I highlighted all of the freaking eyes and stuff that go with everything, but we don't have to read all of that because
Oh,
it's
good.
really long.
In
good
chapter
because
1?
I reference you in later chapters. Like Fortos is red, Montios is violet. I think Arboros is green.
Fanos is yellow.
I don't want that. Looks like your
Mm-mm.
kidneys are going.
I think it's just their iris. It's not like the whites of their eyes are yellow too, right?
I'm just saying that if you see yellow eyes, your kidneys are going. Go to the doctor. Chapter 2. An hour has passed and Diem is finally alone at the Royal Hunting Lodge. She knew she was safe because the only way to enter the cabin was through blood locks that only opened if royal blood was willingly given. Her blood opened the door. The truth was unavoidable at this point.
You would think.
You'd think. She begins to undress out of her sopping wet tunic and she waits for Lily to return with food and wonders how Luther will take losing the crown. He hadn't seemed like much of an enemy over the last 24 hours, but would this be a breaking point? Staring into the fire, she thinks back to the inferno she survived thanks to Luther. How could any mortal survive what she did unless she wasn't? No, she can't spiral. Her father's words ring in her mind. When all else fails, keep moving. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. Her thoughts are interrupted by hoofbeats approaching outside, but it's not Lily that meets her at the open door. It's Luther. Lily betrayed her. Luther was barely recognizable. He seemed to be in a frenzy, wild with thought. He must not be taking losing the crown well. He wants blood, and he isn't waiting until the challenging. The worst part is she didn't even have her Fortosin blade.
I highlighted it too.
because she lost that while they were sharing a passionate kiss during the last encounter. Despite what lies in front of her, her blood heats at the memory. He steps closer in the door, but she refuses to back down. She will not go down without a fight. He wants to know how long she's known. Known what? She's just a mortal. Distracted by her
Skin, because she's in lingerie.
Yeah. Distracted by her skin, he settles down with more questions. Did she kill the king because she thinks he killed her mother? She didn't kill the king. It definitely was a weird encounter that did lead to him speaking through an unworldly voice, but some things are best left unsaid. But he doesn't believe her. This must be why she flirted with him, to distract him. A plan her and her mom had cooked up from the beginning. But Diem wouldn't flirt with Luther if he was the last man left on the world. Lies. In the end, Diem gives her word that she didn't kill the king. The conversation switches to Luther wanting to get her back to the palace, but Diem rather hide away at this cabin, but that's not an option. Sorae, the crowned wyvern, won't stand to be separated for too long. Finally, Diem is convinced and is ready to leave when she realizes there's only one horse. Hell no, he can walk. She is not sharing a horse. But for whatever reason, Luther only thought he would need one horse. She puts up a fight but eventually jumps on, hating herself for loving his familiar touch and breathing in a scent that smells like home. But this moment ends fast when she finally realizes why the horse looks familiar. The story of Henry seeing a little boy trampled by a descendant and his horse flow right into her mind. She is disgusted that she ever even thought she could learn to like the enemy. This man, Luther, was a monster, and she had been stupid and naive. Maybe the crown could even the playing field. Her mind is now clear with her plan. Survive the challenging, complete the rite of coronation, and destroy the descended. Okay, this is a burning question for me. Do you think Luther really only brought one horse because he thought he was going to have to kill her?
No.
So then why do you think he's being all shady about the one horse?
Well, I'm pretty sure he went in a rush because he thought people were going to be trying to kill her. He went to save her.
Okay.
I do think it was a rush decision, but at the same time, I don't think he thought that far ahead as far as like the return.
Yeah.
But that's just in my mind how I would have envisioned it.
I'm pretty sure he went to fight with her, not her. She misunderstood the whole
Or
situation.
confront her.
Yeah. Nah. I think later he explains
I do have
why he showed up like that, and I'm pretty sure it's because he was convinced that since she was in descended land and they were going to find her and try and kill her.
I thought he was going to like maybe kill himself even. Am I making that up?
I mean, he was willing to die.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he says he'll kill himself, but he would have let her kill him.
I do
for sure.
I do recall. I feel like they do bring this up later in conversation.
Yeah. I mean, he tells her because she's like, well, why did you show up ready to kill me with your, because this is where she makes fun of his sword.
Yeah. I love the tension between Luther and Diem. It's crazy how bad you like already want them to be together, but they've literally only shared one kiss.
One kiss, and I'm rooting for him.
Oh, they shared a little bit more than that. There was the instance where he insisted she needed pants, like less than 24 hours ago.
Yes.
It's also kind of wild that she invited Lily less than 24 hours ago and Lily showed up.
I think that's been longer.
Oh, it has been longer.
Yeah.
Because that was
sees
before
them
the
with
fire.
like the girl.
Yeah. No, I'm wrong.
But also, do you think in this moment, if, Diem were to come more to her senses, that Luther would have connected faster than over the series of the books? Or do you think he still would have been kind of standoffish towards Diem?
I think he has to be standoffish because while he does trust her, he's not sure he should trust her yet.
I think it all stems also because of the fact that he is still known for his duty above everything else. And so what he's afraid of is he can feel the burning hatred from her. And he has to walk that line. But their chemistry and like their back and forth, they can kind of figure out why their walls are kind of built around each other and just kind of like poke at it, if that makes sense. I think that's how this relationship in a sense starts.
I just know if I felt like an outwardly tug towards somebody, I would definitely be questioning that. But Diem doesn't.
Well, she's in denial about everything.
I wanted to say that there's a quote in the book about when she's like, keep putting one foot in front of the other. And she's like, the world was not some prowling creature that might lose interest and wander off. And I just thought that was a pretty cool way to put how everything keeps moving, even though your world is at a standstill. And I know
Yeah.
we've talked about that before.
Do you think you would have assumed Luther was the man from Henry's story after all that he has shown her about himself? Thinking.
The first time we read it, I feel like we were still questioning it. Like, we were going through the assumption that Henry had seen him because of the horse. Because it was the one mention of the horse that he had ridden. But at the same time, he never confirmed it until both Eamon and Luther are in a room together later on in a few chapters. And he's like, that's who I saw, but he never shows which one he's talking about.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just drags out for us readers.
But even
be
in this
like-
moment, when all she has to go off is a horse, which
Yeah.
I guess kind of goes back to he was definitely in a rush because he's not even taking his horse. But to go
That's a good point.
to like go back to that, you just, I don't know, you're obviously in denial, you're fighting yourself, you're fighting your situation, but in the last 24 hours this man has taken care of you, has saved you, has tried to help you come to your senses on your reality, and you're going to instantly just assume he's the horrible man from Henry's story, which has more details about the horse than the man.
She did just have her father tell her that he was awful as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she kind of went like a teenager, like, well, he's bad. Don't tell me he's bad.
He-
I'll find out on my own if he's bad.
She did. I don't know. I think that even the first time reading through this, I was making up excuses for Luther. Like, I was like,
Mhm.
it can't be. There has to be some other situation, or like somebody changed Henry's like memories and he's remembering it wrong.
Yeah.
Or
it was an
I was
accident.
already making up excuses for Luther my first read through.
What
So
is-
I didn't believe it as the reader. Now, if I was in Diem's situation and I was literally clueless about everything in the descended world, I probably wouldn't know what to think. But I probably wouldn't have kept my mouth shut about it either. I probably would have pushed him,
You're that guy.
jumped off the horse,
Yeah.
and been like, "You son of a bitch!" Like, and
Well,
gotten to
things
the
are
bottom
just
of it.
adding up, and she still doesn't even know everything about him yet.
Yeah,
But I mean, at the same time, what little you have glimpsed of him, yes, he kind of fights you on everything, but never has he not shown a tender heart
Right.
towards anybody, towards anything outside of just being Luther. Like, so I don't think we believed it the first time, but I think we were still trying to figure out why Henry saw what he saw.
oh yeah,
Because the horse was the tie, and
Mhm.
that's what you go off of the whole time until you realize
Yeah.
what it really meant.
What if Penn Cole just like throws us through the ringer, and the end of the series, it's actually like Luther was the bad guy and Henry is the good guy?
No, I will never forgive you.
She
I
wouldn't do
mean-
that. She wouldn't do that.
I think this is the type of book that we've read before where there may not truly be a good or a bad side. Like, there's just what we perceive as good and we perceive as bad kind of thing. Because Henry is fighting for mortals, right? And that's not really bad for him to do.
I think it goes back to, though, it is bad how he wants to do it. Like, I do think we can say there is a good and bad on how the people are fighting. You can say the mortals do need to fend for themselves, but extinction of the descended is not the
Too
way
far.
to do that.
Yeah.
That's too far. There is
Yeah.
a line that you can say can be drawn to say he's taking it to an obsession. It's not really...
There's evil and bad people on both sides.
Yeah,
There's
but-
injustices on both sides. Maybe from the mortal side, you're seeing the heavier injustice done because of what happened to their land, what happened to them. But the reality is yeah, that is too far. You have
Yeah.
to find a ground. I like that she tries to see through Luther's eyes that you can do both. You can help the descended, you can help the mortal, but she has to see it for herself finally.
But he's not really helping. They're both,
Who?
he's not being successful. They're both still suffering. The mortals are still suffering, and so are the
Yeah,
descended.
But I just
So
don't...
yes, I also agree. There is a moral line that you draw in war, but to gain the power to be able to draw the moral line, I don't
Mhm.
know.
You're gonna have to
you
do
can't
some
put that
shady,
there yet.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do some shady stuff. But once again, he's not even putting any lines. He's saying it's like unlimited. It is just the descended all need to die.
But that's
women, children, men, all of them.
Yes, but that's how you win.
That is not how you win. That is no. You can't say that's just how you win. The Descended didn't do that. The Descended are winning, technically,
They
in this
did
scenario.
do that. They wiped out every single mortal that, what is that? The Guardians. Every single Guardian mortal that rose up against them, they wiped them all out. No matter what they were, women, children, whatever, they wiped them out. Their whole families, everything. And then they put into state rules that if you saw anybody gathering or rising up, that you snitch on them and then you get goodies and they get killed.
But that's
But
the rebellion. That's not
that's
the
not
entirety
all
of the
mortals.
mortals. Like, the rebellion,
You're saying-
yes,
you're-
you're...
Yeah, so like Henry wants all Descended to die. It doesn't matter if you're in the war, a woman or a child. When the Descended took over, there's obviously mortals still living. They didn't kill off the mortals. They aren't doing a great job leading. They're in a horrible place, but they didn't extinct humans. That's a difference.
Okay, sure, but they don't have to. But mortals to win would have to.
Would have to get
Or
rid
they-
of all the Descended.
Yeah, because the Descended are always going to be more powerful. They're always going to be able to rise up and beat them if they don't take them all out.
I don't think you have to extinct them.
I don't either, because
Yeah.
I think that's the mentality, because they're afraid of that the power is still always going to be held over them. But I think in the reality, they have to see that not everybody is like that on that other side of things too. Otherwise, you're just wiping, like you said, just
if you want
people.
peace, like
Yeah.
obviously for Henry, that would solve his problem if he just wiped out all the Descended, and he would win in what he thought was the right way, in a good way for mortals. But it wouldn't be peace, and it wouldn't be really winning. It would just be extinction. And the Descended are in charge, might always be in charge, but they haven't like literally killed off all the mortals.
I mean, in history, even if you think about it, like, if you rise up and you're not willing to,
Yeah.
when they're thinking of genocide, they're hoping that some people will follow them, that they're hoping that they can help them understand. But mass extinction, like,
But mortals have come back a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but Descended did take all of their culture. They
Yeah.
chopped down the Everflame tree. Like,
Yeah.
they essentially did complete a genocide on the mortals. They just left people alive that would follow blindly. And now there is a rising up again, but they can easily crush them. So
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's any way you're going to convince me that Henry is not morally crossing a line. Like,
absolutely, he is morally crossing the line. My only point is that that's how he's going to win a war.
in his mind, yes. I don't think that's winning a war, though. In his mind, yes, I think he thinks that is the only way to win this war. An outsider reading the book, I obviously don't think that's the only way to win the war, because the only way to win the war would be if there was peace. That's the only point I think there would be to a war.
Well, I mean, absolutely.
there's still going to be bloodshed.
Yeah,
Me-
no
That's
matter what.
You can't avoid that.
Me as a person, I totally am on Luther and Diem's side. I want it to be happy rainbows, butterflies, and
Yeah.
friendship is magic. I'm
Everybody
a My
does.
Little Pony fan. I've said it several times. I want friendship to overcome everything. I want it to be a good outcome and peaceful. I just am saying that for mortals to be able to have a victory, it can't be that way, which is what Henry is.
Okay, I have, because we get to see a little more of Sorae in this, I am stoked for her to be more. There's a lot.
Mhm.
These next couple of chapters bring back characters where I'm just super stoked to see more of them. I forget that they aren't even in the first book, like, at all. So I was super stoked about that.
I love when
yeah.
you have a good animal companion.
Mhm.
I love
Like, that's
that.
important.
I love that she takes the time to describe everything and that Diem and her have like this immediate connection too.
Mhm.
That's just love
I
it.
know. She's
Love
like,
it so
you
much.
sense this coming.
And she like responds too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little sassy,
Oh yeah.
a little snarky.
Sorae is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She may not talk like some of our dragons from Fourth Wing and stuff, but like she definitely has a connection that she makes sure she knows her feelings on.
I almost feel like she does talk.
I feel like she does too. She
Yeah.
can speak to Diem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she'd sound like, though.
Probably sultry.
Sultry.
Mm-hmm. She's a sassy dragon with a very, very long lifespan.
Very. Chapter 3. Diem is more than ready to jump off the horse when they get close to the palace, stating, "I couldn't stand 1 second longer with that murderer's body pressed against mine. I kinda feel bad for Luther here." Instantly, Diem is met with a draw to Sorae. Sensing her power, she calls for her. Sorae lands with a thud, cloud of dust, and a deafening bellow. Diem notices shadows gathering. She is definitely making an entrance. Sorae's bellow sounded more like a purr to Diem as she reached out and skims her hand over her dark scales and down her neck, speaking in a language that only the Queen of Lumnos and the Wyvern could understand. The fierceness of Sorae's devotion was palpable to Diem. Diem turned to enter the palace with a smirk on her face and Luther on her tail, the guards who once attacked her now having to beat their fists against their chest in a formal salute. Once inside, Diem realizes she doesn't even know where to go. Luther was the one who insisted she come back to the palace. Turning to him, she basically asks, "Now what?" Luther is still taken back by her grand entrance. He tells her he asked Lily to gather the family upstairs, but given the way she looks, she might want to consider pushing the meeting back or doing single introductions. Hastily, she denies his suggestions, even knowing if anyone could help in the situation, it would be Luther. They head to the meeting, and right before entering, Luther offers some advice. Tell them as little as possible about yourself, your plans, your magic, and especially about your mother. Do you think it would be scary to be tied to an animal that might even kill someone because you show dislike towards them?
Yeah, I'd be nervous all the time because my emotions run wild in my head. Like, I am so quick to anger. I'd be like, oh, I gotta really watch that.
Yeah. On my period, I'd be like, I can't go out
Oh.
today, or Sorae's going to have a bloodbath.
Yeah.
She might even just go get somebody I'm thinking about from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I noticed you were up last night thinking about that time, so I just went ahead and took care of it.
I saw that you went back and you relived that embarrassing moment from when you were 4. I took care of everybody that saw it.
It's gone. But like we said, we love her, and
We
this
do.
connection that they have with each other that's just immediate. And it almost feels like the only two people that truly know Diem is Teller and Sorae. And they just met.
And
Yeah.
Luther.
And Luther.
Luther,
But, I mean, even Luther, I
he's
mean,
a little skeptical,
yeah.
but at his core,
He understands.
He like kind of gets her.
Yeah.
immediately. She likes pants.
I'm sorry, but I will always go back to that. She needs pants.
It's the
Needs
little
them.
things.
Don't give her a dress. Give her some pants.
Do you just love how she comes in with all of this confidence and then is like, "Oh, where do I go? You don't even go here."
I really feel like that's any of us, like with
Mhm.
the main character energy, and like we do something and we feel all confident and we just like go marching in and we're like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
It's that eye contact.
Yeah.
Like,
Shit. Where am I going again?
It's like the movie The Heat. It has like Sandra Bullock in it, and she plays like this bossy FBI agent, and she's at this like local police precinct. And when she walks in, she tries to lead the way, but the captain of the precinct is like, "Nope, this way. Nope, this way. Nope, that way." That's how I picture her with Luther here. He's like, "No, you take a left there. No, the meeting room's in
Yep.
the back."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I mean, she's not expected to know. I mean, she wasn't
No.
the palace's healer to begin with. So I feel like there are going to be moments of this that just keep popping up. And she's just like, yeah, I knew I was going that way the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the Descended, the huge mistake that she makes immediately is telling him that she's half mortal, even though
Yeah.
like she wants that out there so that they don't run all over her. They don't have a clue. They think she's with one of the houses.
Mhm.
Like they think she's Descended because she has different eyes, she has different hair, she obviously has magic since she's got the fucking crown over her head. But
I always wondered about that because then she's asked about,
Yeah.
forming that alliance with House Corbeau, and then she like has to kind of play along that like she's been around all this time
yeah,
or whatever.
they have
like,
to make up a story,
Yeah.
which I think happens
The
just
next
in the
chapter.
next chapter. So
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
like way ahead. But
Well, that was going to be kind of going back to that is, do you think Luther selfishly says don't bring up your mom because he doesn't want to be thought to be connected with her, or he's actually worried about her telling too much?
I personally think he's worried about telling her too much, but then he's also trying to like plan ahead, being like, how do we get this to where there isn't somebody rising up against her immediately now before we even get to the challenging?
honestly, so with Henry, everything he does, I can see the ulterior motive to gain power. With Luther, I have never had that feeling. And when he says, don't tell him about your mom, all I can think is that he knows she's the leader of the Guardians and that
That too.
other descended probably know that as well
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they gossip.
Yeah.
And so the fact that that is her mom is like, don't let them know because they're gonna come for
Yeah,
you
it's
if
not
you
gonna
do.
look good.
It's not
Yeah.
gonna be great. So that's why I don't think it's selfishness at all. I think it is purely trying to protect her.
Well, and I think Diem kind of, unfortunately, has relied on the fact that everyone knows her father to be Andre Bellator, not realizing that her birth father is someone we don't know yet.
How do you spell Wyvern?
It's got an R in there.
Mhm.
That's why it's Gryvern.
It's like Gryvern.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know if I'm spelling it.
There's no W.
Yeah.
I picture
Like half lion,
Yeah.
half bird.
this is how I visually see it, but like character wise, I definitely think of Sorae more like a dog,
Like Clifford.
like a loyal dog. Yeah, like
Like
Clifford, the big
Clifford,
red
just
dog.
with wings showing up.
Like, hey, what's
Could you
up?
imagine?
What's up?
This picture though, the spikes don't look very soft to pet.
She's like 3.
Alone in the world.
Isn't she?
Cat dog.
Who
Sorae.
is 3 years
I thought-
old?
No, like I thought she was 3 things.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
dragon, lion, lizard.
Yes.
I don't know.
Baby. Wait.
It's not lizard.
No.
Horse?
Eagle.
Eagle. This one it looks like dragon, lion, eagle feathers.
Because it's kind of, what I picture is kind of like a griffin.
Yeah.
Oh, this is literally
like, a
from.
lot like a griffin.
This is like literally a sticker of Sorae.
Yeah, lion, eagle, and dragon.
I've just played Ark so much that I can't picture the dragon part in there. I just continually picture a griffin.
Yeah.
You know what's
which is
popping
very
in-
close to it.
You know what's popping in my mind? Pan.
No.
No, I did not think you were going
we did
that
not
way.
think about
Because
that.
he's 1 part goat, 1 half man. Sorae is 1 part dragon, 1 part lion, 1 part eagle. Is that what we said?
Yes.
So the song needs to be longer. I'll work on it. I'll workshop that.
She'll fix it. Don't worry, guys. We'll come back next episode. I'm pulling up the sticker so I can see it. That's intense. That's
I don't know if
literally
I-
one part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I picture
I don't
more
like
of a
A blending.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although
If you were to sew it together, though, that's exactly how Sorae looks.
Yeah.
this is the stuffed animal that we could make by cutting.
We will be
Things
selling it
apart.
online soon. Sorae merch.
Oh, here's the stuffed animal. Somebody did it. Pre-order Sorae stuffy.
Is it this one on the book?
Yes.
Oh, it's cute.
It really
I don't like the yellow
It's-
legs though.
It's very Mod Podge. Like
It's
someone
so
took a
much.
Pinterest board to life and was like, I'll just glue these pieces together.
If you guys watch Phineas and Ferb, it reminds me of when Candace tries to make the frog. they have these, like, I cannot remember what they are. That they're the stuffed animals, and you can tell them what animals you
Yes.
want. And she does a frog and a cow. They call it a frog. It's hilarious. Okay. Anyway,
I love that.
hers
show.
turns out hideous, and she throws
Mhm.
it away.
Chapter 4. Diem instantly realizes she has made a huge mistake. The royal family was large, larger than Diem expected. No less than 100 descended are staring at her in a crowded room. Some decked out in finery that would provide for a mortal's lifetime, and some wearing something that would make the women of Paradise Row blush. Then there was Diem, who resembled a wet rat. And right before she is about to sprint out of the palace, Luther's hand brushes against Diem's in a reassuring gesture. He introduces her to his family as Your Majesty, the heir to the crown, Her Royal Majesty Diem Bellator, Queen of Lumnos, Realm of Light and Shadows. He's got the list.
Damn.
It's a slow burn, but eventually everyone bows. Diem eventually tells them they may rise. The first to pop up and make introductions is none other than Remus Corbius, a.k.a. Luther's father.
I think it's
Corbois.
Corbeau?
I say Corby. It's Corbois.
Corbois?
Yeah, but I always said
I say
Corby.
Remus.
I said Corby too the whole time.
I could see it being Corbeau too if it's French.
Yeah.
Corbois.
Corbois?
Mhm.
The word Corbios is pronounced Corbois. I can't wait to overpronounce that. And make introductions is none other than Remus Corbois.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Thank you. A.k.a. Luther's father. Boo. He continues to introduce his wife, Ivana,
Mhm.
daughter Lily, and Diem's already met his son. Then she meets...
She's met him already.
Mhm.
Sorry. Continue.
Then she meets Giraffe, Giraffe,
Oh, I
Quabois,
like it. Giraffe. Perfect.
Quabois,
Quabois.
Remus's older brother, his wife Freya, and their sons Anemone. Amion.
Just
Amen.
amen. I
Amen.
think.
And their sons Amen and Taryn. Taryn!
Darren, we love him.
It's noted that Gareth
Mhm.
and Freya barely offer a dip of their chin, but our boy Taryn stepped forward and gave a deep bow with a large grin. Then, of course, Amen, stepping in front of Taryn, gives a dramatic bow and tops it with a kiss atop Diem's hand. Diem notices Taryn and Luther share an annoyed look. Knowing this bothers Luther, she plays into it and offers Amen a charmed smile. The next few hours were spent with rapid introductions, but there are two more people to note. Our girl Eleanor, bubbly and enthusiastic as ever, and I really want to say Axel, but it's just
I think
It's
it's,
a-
Alix.
yeah.
Alix, who was there the night of the fire and gave off the pure warrior vibe. Luther stayed by Diem's side the whole night, offering help from time to time. Once she had met everyone, she was escorted by Remus to a satay in the center of the room. Satay?
You did satay.
That-
Satay.
Isn't that also a chicken on a stick is a satay?
Pate?
No, isn't it like Satay? Satay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I
sure.
picture that.
It is something like
I
that.
gotta Google it because it's gonna bother me.
This is
Now
going to be
I need
a
to
Google
know.
session, guys.
Satay.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
stick. Remus begins to question Diem on her surname, Bellator, since he was not familiar with that house. She keeps it vague, saying she grew up a stone's throw away from the palace, and belittles Remus by stating he should know his realm better. Alix adds to the sting by instantly knowing who Diem's father was, and even states she thought everyone knew who he was, the highest-ranking mortal in history. The room is stunned. A mortal father? Not just that, but two mortal parents? Diem knows her lineage would eventually be unavoidable, but before she can dig her hole too deep, Luther interrupts, stating Andre is her adopted father. Diem is shocked he even knows this, but it's overshadowed by the surprise in the crowd that she is a child of a mortal and descended, which is forbidden. Remus explains that the other houses will expect there to be an inquiry into her parentage. Diem basically states there is no need. Her father didn't have knowledge of her sire, and her mother is, no longer with us, so it wouldn't be very fruitful. Now the whispers were really getting out of hand. An appalling upbringing for a queen. But like Luther has done the whole night, he offers a solution. Letting Diem claim House Quabois, Remus immediately catches on to this scheme and reassures Diem that they could offer a wealth of resources and protection during the challenging. If she claimed their house, then no one within the house would dare challenge their own. Diem sensed the underlying threat. Now they just needed a dead relative to pin as her father and for Diem to agree to this plan. This was becoming too much, and before she could respond, Luther suggests they give her time to consider the offer. Yes, she needed time. Time to rip apart House Quabois and every other house in Lumnos.
The planning begins. The
Damn,
scheming
you little
begins.
schemer.
And like I said earlier, we're once again seeing all the characters that we learned to love. Taryn, Eleanor, and Alix.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
You
Yeah,
did.
You did.
I think
And
I might have
also some of them that we learned to hate. Remus. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Remus is a slimy little pig.
God, I
don't like
hate
him.
him so much.
I don't know if... I think I just thought, he was just, a bad dude when I first read it. But I just, instantly got irritated with him rereading it. I don't know if I hated him this much the first read at first, but even, the first thing he says, I'm like, that's disgusting.
You hideous
And all he does is
bastard.
introduce himself and his family.
He is awful, though. And I also equally hate Gareth.
The brother.
I do.
Yeah.
I hate both of the brothers. Immediately hate them.
Because Gareth is Taryn and Amon's dad, right?
Yeah.
Gareth.
Gareth.
It's like Garrett, but not.
No,
Gareth.
nothing like Garrett.
Gareth.
It's like Garth, if anything.
Garth Brooks. Okay, do you think you would have said, let's get down to business, or would have taken Luther's suggestion to maybe grab a shower before meeting everybody?
Let's get down to business.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you don't
She
look
confidently
your best.
walks in there, though, man, until she realizes, oh, shit.
Yeah. She's dripping with confidence and rainwater, but
With
or
how
lake water.
Yeah.
nasty lake water. Grimy, really. smelling like the swamp that she lives in.
I-
I don't know. I'm really hard-headed. So if I thought that Luther might be somebody who's been killing mortal children the whole time that he's been alive, whoever knows how long that is, I might just go against every single thing he says, no matter
Yeah.
what, at the beginning. So
You're not the boss of me.
yeah, I'm pretty hard-headed when it comes to stuff like that. So I'd probably be like, bring it the fuck on, boy. Let's
Mhm.
go.
And then what a shocker when
and
you
then-
step into the room.
Because you're used to families being 4 people strong. And
Yeah.
this is over
Oh,
100.
God.
I don't know what she thought she was getting into. They have a whole house
Mhm.
and they live in the
Or
palace.
It's
but
never a good feeling when you're underdressed in a situation. So I just think about times where, I don't like to dress up in general, but if I know there's a dress code, I will follow.
Yeah.
So it's like the worst feeling in the world when you show up and everyone's in like dresses and you're
when
like, oh,
you didn't get the memo
Yeah.
or you thought
Yeah.
you had you just have the wrong one. And so walking in, you're like, well, this is going to be an awkward encounter and
Yeah.
I just can't do anything about it.
that to me would be enough to walk out of the room. I'd be
Mhm.
like, I am so sorry. I did not know this was a gown only or bring your own lingerie. So this is on me.
hold on, wait. I do have nice lingerie on. Let me go
Yeah.
take this crap off real quick. Braid my hair.
Put on a show for
Okay.
you.
I'll fit in much better.
That is funny that it's like such a mix between the gowns that are just gaudy.
Yeah.
They're just gaudy, and then she says like some of them are basically nothing. So are you picturing like a club, or some of them are half in like literally lingerie?
I picture like sheer dresses, very deep cut V's, very high slits, like more revealing and sexy, but still elegant.
Okay,
I'm kind of picturing like they just have like leathery straps around their nether regions, and then
Oh, some dominatrix coming in, baby girl.
What are the nipple
the tassels?
tassels?
No.
They're just like swinging them around
No.
like welcome to the fam. Quoi?
Didn't you say it like put
no.
Paradise Row to shame?
Well,
Yeah.
if it's
That's
like
what she
that,
says.
then
Yeah.
I feel like some of them are dressed.
I think of courtesans though, more I guess in that regard.
Courtesans?
Yeah, courtesan.
I don't know if I've ever heard that word.
Please help me,
Yeah.
because all I can think of is cortisone cream.
I was literally thinking the same. I was like, now we're going back to head on. Apply directly to cortisone. When you get bit by a bug,
You can cortisone with this cream.
what does it mean? Is it
Like-
like corset?
No.
No, it's a time period.
It's-
I think.
Oh.
Okay, so think
Ish.
of Throne of Glass.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't want to say the wrong name. Who is Selena's worst enemy in the beginning?
The assassin dude?
No,
No,
Lysandra.
Lysandra.
Lysandra. And what is her job? She's a courtesan.
Oh,
So
okay,
she's
okay,
taken
okay.
out to all these fancy
Yes,
things
yes,
and stuff, but
yes.
she is still
I think
hired
maybe I've
for-
only seen that word written,
Okay.
so I've never
I
said
could
it.
be mispronouncing it.
No,
and
I
that's
don't-
on
I'm not
me.
even convinced I can
words
read.
are difficult.
I think I just memorized a bunch of words.
Man.
No, you did great.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
no,
that that's
no,
how you
it's
say
fine.
it.
If
I'm-
it's not,
and I
listeners,
agree.
let us know.
I
Yeah.
agree.
They will.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that is how
I
they're
think-
done. Like a
yes,
high
That's
end.
more what I
A
think
high-end
of. Yeah.
prostitute.
Well, yeah,
not
we're supposed to
prostitute.
say
What is the proper word now?
sex worker.
Sex worker. Yes, like a high-end sex worker.
Yes.
So
For athletes and government officials. Okay. the
I
end
mean, she wouldn't be wrong.
the end chapters where it just reminds her of her plan to destroy the Descended. I hate it. Or like the end sentences, I should say.
Mhm.
Because it's just not believable to Diem's character when it just ends these, like, it feels like these next 7 chapters, it just ends with, but my plan to destroy them will come true. It's like,
she's like-
Diem,
No, like you are too good-hearted
yes.
to have this type of thought and like goal. It's just not attainable for
No.
you. You are going to try and win everybody with friendship. And when that's going to fail, it's going to tear you apart.
Mm-hmm.
Especially being raised as a healer and having to care for all, having to be
Yeah.
able to step up like she did for those kids at the palace and help all. It's funny it's not funny, excuse me, that's the wrong word, but it's interesting to see that she resorts back to that ingrained hatred
Mm-hmm.
and the realization that now I'm in a position where I could possibly end everything. And I think that does conflict with her personality big time.
But she's not
For
even
a long time.
Yeah. But she's not even like fully going into it, because even at the end of this chapter, she's like, Lily's going to get caught in this. Like, when I destroy the Descended, what's Lily going to do? I'm like, well, if you're truly going to destroy the Descended, Lily's going to die.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and she doesn't even acknowledge that that's truly part of her
I
plan.
think she mainly puts it like Lily's going to be so heartbroken when I destroy her entire family.
I know,
Mhm.
but like Lily's part of the Descended too, DM. Like,
yeah, it's just
Lily-
it's just not believable.
Yeah, Lily's the first one she recognizes as, oh, there might be still some good.
Mhm.
But
yeah.
I can't forgive you for everything else that you come from, that you represent. So, like, she has to get to that point.
And to kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier, we don't know all the history of like what's happened between the kindred and the descended, but I do think it's crazy to think how far they still have probably come, that the kindred that they're all ancestors of the kindred who were in love with mortals and were gods and stepped down from that to be with their mortal lovers. And then here they are calling each other or calling her a half-breed or
Yeah. A
And-
muggle.
basically a muggle. Yeah. So it's just interesting.
It was funny when he did that, and then Taryn calls him out, and he's like, don't forget, that's what we all are. You're no
Yeah.
better because you're half mortal as well.
Isn't it Mother of Lumos that actually did do that? She stepped down
All
for
of
her
them
lover?
did.
They
Yeah,
all
all
did.
9 kindred, and not the 10th, or,
There's
whatever.
the
The father of them all.
What if there's more than that? What if, like, finding out about that 10th one is there's only just more?
Yeah.
Like, that we just, from history, has just written out.
Well, and we're only on like one continent, so the next continent over is like Fourth Wing.
And it's a
Oh,
square, not a
shit.
circle.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
Ring Road.
Give me maps, give me family tree lines, give me everything of you got on the kindred, the descended, everything. I need it all.
If you want that, you should listen to Fantasy Fangirls podcast or Between Pages and Friends, because they do I don't think they've done Everflame, but they do like the maps and the pronunciations and all that. So they got it
That'd
done.
be cool.
Not us. Okay, chapter 5. As people thinned out from the night, Diem pulls Lily aside. Lily is having a minor mental bee from betraying her queen, but Diem reassures her that she is not angry with her. Lily only intended to help Diem, and that's exactly what she did. Once Lily's tears dried, Diem asks for another favor. Can she get Teller into the palace tomorrow without anyone noticing? Of course she can. She's a sneaky teenager. The conversation ends with a squeeze of a large hug, but also the guilt of knowing that if Diem is going to destroy the Descended, then Lily will be caught in the crossfire. After insisting Lily gets to bed, Diem and Luther are left in conversation. He thanks her for not punishing Lily and even compliments her on how well she handled the meeting. Diem turns the conversation to the list of his recent threats. But we as the reader see that it's never threats, but his way of trying to protect her. It doesn't stop her from mentioning she might need to consider the other houses. Reluctantly, Luther would set up secret meetings, at least with House Colbois. She has allies, aka Luther and Lily, and some other characters we may have just met. Diem is starting to get a headache from her reality. She asks Luther how he knew about her father. He didn't, he just guessed. But being known as half-mortal is far safer than being known as the first mortal to try to hold the crown. But Luther points out these are the least of Diem's secrets, which ignites her temper, and she once again demands to know where her mother is. Her temper is doused with an interruption from Aemon. He, of course, is being slimy as ever, and trying to win her over with smooth talk and even offering to give her a tour of the palace tomorrow. Knowing this would bother Luther, she gladly accepts. Now it's time to decide where she will sleep for the night. She wants to stay at the hunting lodge, but that's not an option until she masters her magic. You know, the magic she insists she doesn't have. So Luther offers the guest quarters in the palace. In fact, he already has them prepared. Oh, Luther. The two of them walk to where she is staying, and as she is taking in her surroundings, she asks Luther if he was happy growing up here. He gives a rehearsed robotic answer that it was a privilege, but she digs deeper. He answers with, he was always assumed to take the throne next, so no, there was little room to be happy. It reminded Diem that she didn't have a choice in being a healer, and that way they were both alike. Paths were chosen for them. Diem starts to let her guard down a little and prods about why he is helping, what he was wanting from all of this. Although it was thought he would hold the crown, he always thought it was his destiny to serve it, not wear it, and that was answer enough. They make it to her room, which happens to be across from his, And what happens next can only be described as dangerous flirting, as they both try to make points that I don't even care about because of the heat radiating from their connection. Bottom line, Diem tries to fight against Luther while the guards watch. Luther taunts her with her 4-toes-in knife that she lost the last time she saw him. Luther gets her in a hold and begs her to trust him. Meanwhile, Sorae is about to break down the palace walls to get to Diem. Diem eventually calls her off after Luther promises to tell her what he can about her mother. He lets her go, and she enters her room and slams the door behind her. And then we have one of my favorite moments in the whole book, where Luther is screaming at the guards for not doing their jobs and protecting their queen. He could have killed her. We love a protective shadow daddy. Now, left alone in her chambers, she sees her reflection for the first time that evening. Glowing crowned and wet rat look and all, she really is the queen of Lumnos. Falling asleep in a much-needed bath, she hears a knock at her door. By the way, that's dangerous. She walks to find Luther again. He brought her weapons to make her feel more at home. Cute. But this peace offering isn't enough to keep her mind from the war at hand. She slams the door in his face.
She also answers the door in a towel. So he's caught her dripping wet in lingerie.
Yep.
And now dripping wet in a towel.
He's seen it all, folks. So I feel like instantly Diem takes on an older sister role to Lily.
Oh, yeah.
I like that bond between them.
I mean, there was such a point made that Lily betrayed her.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately when she senses Lily's anxiety, she's like, listen, like you did what you thought was best and nobody's going to be mad at you about that.
Yeah. And she's almost annoyed when Luther's like, thank you for doing that. I was going to do that no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does treat her like she treats Teller, but in a more respectful way because of that sisterly bond that I feel like is starting to form.
Mm-hmm.
And just like with Remus, I get the instant yuck with Aemon. I think we just said that, but I just do. I don't remember having that instant. I think I was kind of on the fence with him. And maybe
I'm
even by
still
the
on the fence.
I think I'm
like,
still
I
on
don't
the
think
fence.
I ever got the full, like, you're bad. I feel like there's just a lot I don't know about you
I
yet.
think he says something in the end of the third book that makes me be like, there might be more to his story. I can't remember what it is, but it's weird just because I never remember having any doubts about Luther. I was like, I just remember thinking, if Luther doesn't like him, then I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I actually haven't made my mind up about Aemon either.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's one of those characters that is super misguided, but given the chance, he could make a better decision and become good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not so sure about Henry.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I like, yes, what I find out later on about what Henry saw drives me insane. Like, that to me is like, okay, that can almost solidify it. But everything else that Aemon proves with Diem and kind of just him in general, like, I feel like there's more to his story. Kind of like you said, like, he has an ulterior motive. Maybe it's selfish, but also, like, is that just the role and position he's in and that he plays? Or could you be a good guy?
There is a point where he does just outright betray them.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does do that at a point in the, I don't know if it's this book or the next book, but I still am like, if Diem chooses to forgive that, he could still be a very useful ally to her.
And we're all just seeing this from one perspective. Just like Henry only knows his story of the kid dying from his perspective. We don't know Aemon's, not saying that was good or anything, but
I think that he does tell, I think he tells Diem what was going on.
later.
That day.
Yeah, when he ran over the kid, or he was drunk and he doesn't even remember. It's something, I think that it is explained later, but
I guess
I
we'll just.
don't think it was like animosity.
Malicious.
Yeah, malicious. There you go.
So the lack of choice in their future is a way that Diem at least feels connected to Luther. Do you feel bad for either of them? Because she kind of talks about how being a healer did allow her to have better opportunities than other mortals, so that was great. And for Luther, he's living in a palace. But at the same time, do you feel awful for them?
I feel awful for Luther with the treatment of his role because he is, what's his title? He's like...
Crown Prince.
No, I mean, like,
he like
the
enforces...
enforcer of, I can't remember his exact name
yeah.
of the title, but, like, I feel bad because he is a soft-hearted soul. He does obviously care about people, but he has to be brutal in every way. And I think that shows even in his raising. I think that shows in his mistreatment. But I think some of his cousins who know him best can see through that mask and tries to kind of like, take it off. Let's see that other side of you. Let's be human for a moment because we know you're tormenting.
And nobody likes to be put in a corner or put in a box to where you're told how you have to live your entire life.
Well, even when DM says being a healer gave me all these opportunities that most women in Mortal City don't have, he's like, sure, yeah, that was a positive thing that came out of it, but it doesn't feel better when you're going through it because it's still not something that you got to choose. And she's like, you're right.
It was kind of forced on her by her mother.
Yeah, I feel bad for both of them. DM has had no choice in anything that's happened in her life up into when she was 20 years old. And to me, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
She thinks she knows how everything works, and she thinks all of this stuff, and she's just getting blindsided by all the stuff her mother kept from her. And she keeps saying, no, my mom wouldn't keep that. She told us the big stuff. That is one quote that I highlighted. She's like, no, mom always told us the big stuff.
I just, later on when she does face her mom, I don't think she has enough anger towards her, but that's just me personally.
No, I would have lashed out. I would have demanded answers now, not later. Like, I don't care who we are around. Like, I need to know what's going on, what you've kept from me all this time, because things aren't adding up. Like, you thought you were doing it for the best, and I need to see the reasoning and the logic behind that.
But the only way that DM's going to make it work between the mortals and the descended is if she forgives on both sides equally.
I still get annoyed with the parents making all the interesting choices, but I feel like that's just part of life. I feel like they always try to do what's best, and maybe it turns out to not always be, but, the consequences be damned.
Everybody's just trying their hardest.
Do what you know. What is that? My mom says.
Do what I say, not what I do?
No, she says, do what you think is best until you know better, and then do that.
I loved the end scene here, him going all protective mode, even though it was like talking about himself. Just yelling at the guards.
Yes.
I remember reading this the first time and loving this scene, and I loved it all the same rereading it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care who it is attacking her. You freaking protect her. Like, what the heck were you guys staying there like cowards? You should have killed me. In an instant, you should have killed me.
Stabbed me.
Yeah.
He also got protective when she first entered the palace and was refusing to give up her weapons, remember? And he stepped in with the guards. And I was like, okay.
I'm not sure that he wouldn't have done that for any mortal, though. Getting harassed like that. Like,
but I think he knew who she was.
Yeah, it's a special connection between them because of their mate bond.
Yeah, he doesn't want anyone else putting their hands on her.
But I also don't think that he would have stood by and let the guard grope a mortal's ass.
Yeah. No. He's a good man, Savannah. Have you heard that sound on TikTok?
No.
It's like an audio from a Today Show clip interview where Savannah Guthrie is like interviewing someone, and I don't even know who it's about, but she just goes in hard. And the person she's interviewing goes, he's a good man, Savannah. Chapter 6. Diem wakes up to someone in her room. She can sense it. Grabbing her knife from underneath her pillow, she waits for a moment to pounce out of the bed, only to be hit with a little light magic from none other than our girl Eleanor. She was let in by Luther since Diem needed some new clothes. Diem apologizes for almost stabbing her, but explains that Luther was worried someone was going to try to kill her, which makes Eleanor laugh because if anyone has motive to kill Diem, it's Luther. The girls kind of chuckle at this, and we as the reader can tell this is only the beginning of their friendship. Eleanor offers to go with her to breakfast and helps her pick out a dress. Diem would never admit it, but she always was jealous of the pretty girls in the dresses when she chose to always wear pants. But now seeing the options in front of her, a dress almost felt like a weapon she had never been taught to wield. But she was a Bellator, and she would not be intimidated by a dress. Looking back at Eleanor, Diem realizes where she knows her from. She helped her once Luther brought Diem back the night of the fire. Eleanor is shocked she remembers since she was so badly wounded, but then talks about the way Luther fussed over Diem. The Luther Corbois fussed? It had to be guilt, right? Diem is for denial. As always. After getting dressed, Diem checks herself out in the mirror. She feels more bare than when she was naked, not recognizing the woman staring back at her in a dress. Eleanor notices and says this, "Words can cut as deeply as a blade, you know. So can titles or influence or one's appearance, especially here at court. Some Quobois refuse to even wear weapons because they think it makes them look weak." Then she goes on to say, "To be honest, in House Corbois, I fear those who don't wear weapons much more than those who do." Noted, Eleanor, who is not wearing weapons.
Right?
Mhm.
As they are walking out, Eleanor offers to help Diem learn the way of the palace and the descended. Diem thinks she is just trying to secure her spot with the new crown, but then Eleanor explains that she has always been overlooked and it would be nice to feel useful. Eleanor was born in a box that was designed to keep her small and insignificant, and like Diem, she dreamed of being more. So just like that, Eleanor was made an advisor to the crown on all matters of politics, rumors, unspoken rules, and whatever else came their way. Eleanor immediately took her job very seriously, showing Diem all the secret spots and places of the palace, even dishing out the gossip of the complex dynamics of the family. Outside over lunch, Diem repeated what she had learned. Gareth never got over King Ulthar choosing Remus as regent. Gareth has anger issues. But of course, his jealousy is understandable since the regent acts as the crown when the crown cannot. Remus is actually probably more disappointed in Luther not getting the crown than Luther is, but they would have had very different ideas for the future of Lumos. But Eleanor emphasizes that none of this matters now since Diem walked through the door. Aemon interrupts their lunch to take Diem on the tour of the palace as promised. A little unstable from the wine, she gets up to go, but catches sight of Luther. A mixture of anger and a strange flutter in her stomach reminds her she needs to hold off on any conversation about her mother until she sobers up a bit. So she slips her arm through Aemon's and thanks Eleanor for her time and goes on her way. I like the part where she's getting dressed and she has all these dresses in front of her and she's gonna look pretty but doesn't feel pretty maybe in the moment because she's scared to do that. Just because I'm a tomboy and in high school I didn't wear makeup or get dressed a lot. But when I did, I would feel uncomfortable doing it because people were like, "Emily, you're dressed up today." And even though that was a nice thing, it made me feel so uncomfortable.
You're self-conscious
yes,
of it.
yeah. Do they think I'm trying too hard now that I am dressed up? Do I have to do this all the time? So just in this moment, I could relate with Diem a lot.
That it shows the vulnerable side of
Oh, yeah.
her hard exterior usually.
And of just being a girl.
Yeah,
Being a girl who loves her pants, and I don't blame her for that.
Yeah.
for sure.
One bit.
I still wear sliders under my dresses.
Yeah.
I can't.
Or Spanx.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I cannot wear a dress without that.
Luther fussing. We gotta love that.
Yes.
Diem, stop making excuses for him for loving you. Just let him love you.
Oh, my girl.
It's a lot.
I mean, and we all think that he was about to say, or Eleanor probably already knows because she was not the one passed out on the bed, that Luther thinks that she is his mate.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
I think she
just-
might be the first one to clue in on it.
She got that in the back of her mind.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I also just love Eleanor rebelling in her own way. All these people thought I was worthless, but I'm going to show them that I am worth something.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I love Eleanor's character for sure. Especially, we already see her being her true self around Diem immediately, even though Diem is the queen and she doesn't know her and all of this stuff. But
Yeah.
she's we don't wear weapons if we're powerful in the house.
Yeah. I just love this friendship, this just found family that's already developing. I mean, they already have family, but just this is the found family trope, I think, starting to just grow with Eleanor and further on even more characters.
Yeah.
Especially for Diem feeling alone. I think that's a huge aspect that she kind of in her head keeps repeating and repeating. But she's starting to realize that she has friends on the other side. She has, companionship. She has people looking out for her, even if right now it is such a hard time for her to feel like she can trust anybody.
Mhm.
This chapter eases her reality, I feel like. That it eases as a reader, you're like, okay, this is just a chill chapter. Not a lot really happens. And you're just like, okay, this is just a friendship. This is just a fun chapter. They're just girls chatting, drinking wine at lunchtime.
I wanted to point out that I think it's interesting that there's two half-descended people or half-mortal, whatever, however you want to say it, that are the most powerful in the realm. Like, they thought Luther was going to get the crown,
Mhm.
and he's technically half mortal, half descended.
He is? I don't remember that.
Oh.
Well, it hasn't happened. I guess we don't know that yet.
Well, you can talk about it. I really don't remember. He's like a bastard, isn't he?
Yeah, that's why he has the scar, because his dad tried to kill him.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. I
And-
think I was getting another series mixed in my mind there for a second.
Diem is half this whatever she is and half mortal, and Luther is too, and they're both the most powerful in this realm.
Almost like the kindred are at work here.
Yeah, kind
For
of
sure.
like
Let's
showing,
go back to our roots.
Yeah.
showing the descended like you ain't got the power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Relax. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to point
No,
that
I
out.
like that.
I still
That
have
was-
my hand in this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool.
We're bringing it back to your roots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's up with magical wine? Like, this isn't even magical wine, but I feel like in any fantasy series ever, when the outsider,
It's
the main character.
best wine.
No, they
Can we
have
get
magical wine here. It's descended wine.
Okay.
Remember,
Wh-
because
why is it always so powerful?
the mortals get to drink it. The mortal
Because
men. Get
I
to
don't think
drink
the
it.
descended or any godlike figure gets drunk off of mortal
Boxed wine.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just not strong enough. To them, they're just like, this is water. Thank you. This is grape juice. Appreciate it.
That's in almost every fantasy book that
Every.
their body processes the alcohol too quickly
Yeah.
because of its healing properties, so they have to make it way stronger. So
Well,
then,
where can we get
They're
some?
special. They're special.
well, we
wine.
can just make jungle juice with Everclear.
Perfect.
And then,
And then we die. So great.
I will never forget watching someone take a shot of that, and I was like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
That's all I have. I don't have a spotlight today, and I don't have fan theories yet because this is just the first bulk of this book. I'm sure that they will develop.
Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will be continuing our strip down of Glow with chapters 7 through 12. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials and tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts for a new episode of Book Thoughts.